team here will move on to DreamHack Winter, where they will qualify and play against some of the best teams in the world for $200,000. If you lose here, you stay home with nothing. Now, it's a mixture of things after a bracket reset takes place. Some of these team comps, I'm expecting them to keep like with the classic that we sort of know and love. Yep, Sorlag, Nyx, Slash, definitely expected.
Nothing really surprising here.
Yeah, nothing surprising from the champion lineup. But what this reset does is a mixture of things, right? If you're the team that resets the bracket, you're riding a lot of this hype, essentially, and now you're going, right, let's go straight back into this next series. And I feel like No Lives Matter are pretty much at the top of that pedestal at the moment. But at the same time, Unlovables, now these guys are essentially 1-1 in tournament now. And this is going down to was essentially that final 2 out of 3 scenario, right? Seeing as they defeated them in winners bracket, and now in grand finals, they've lost one of those series. Now they've kind of gone back to that 1-1 scenario. It really is, as I said earlier, it's that splash of cold water in the face to go, right, guys, we've got to wake up. You know, we've got to make sure that we maintain that standard that we were meeting in the winners finals, and we've got to show that we are the favorites for a reason. It's also a big knock to your confidence, right? Because by now, Unlovables would have been sat waiting for grand finals for a while, because they won winners finals a lot earlier in the evening, which obviously had sat them in grand finals on winners side. So they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, going, yeah, we're feeling pretty good about this. We're in the winners side, and then now it's time for them to play again, and they've been knocked into losers. That is a big turnaround in what I assume is team-wide morale. That they now have to do what they can to keep going. As we're 20 seconds away from this warm-up finishing, we're going to be going into this first map of the reset. We might go down to 3 total. We might just have another 2. Who knows? But I mean, the 2-0 could be for either team, if that's what we see. It's going to be hard to say. We'll see what happens in this burial chamber. The adaptations are going to have to be made on both sides. I think No Lives Matter are going to have to make sure they maintain that standard they were able to meet when they got this reset on deck. But on the flip side, Unlovables have a lot of work to do, and they need to get back on track, and not much time to do it. Except most of them dying beforehand, but not before the spawn actually spawned, so not a complete disaster.
Yeah, this is that point you don't want to go down now. It's 20 seconds.
Well, actually, speaking which, 3 of Unlovables were able to get frags there, securing. So No Lives Matter were mostly dead, and now they're going in as a big group trying to drop this off. But it was Sen that is left alone, trying to throw away, but no, again, his entire team died, and that's given the obelisk to No Lives Matter again.
It's because Saigib got a fantastic couple of doubles right there. He's been such a star performer in terms of making sure those critical frags are going in his team's favor, and I think he's just continuing to do that. But they do consistently trade back and forth with the quad. However, it is going to be No Lives Matter that come off better. They have the last laugh for that quad fight. And wow, bot mode just shredded right there.
Still though, trying to fight on this pit with that quad damage, doing a lot of damage. Kane is going to be dropping here to pit now. He's quite weak, so he's quite vulnerable. But no, Saigib is going to save him. Sen will drop. It is that crucial quad damage, super shotgun, but could get the follow-up again. Kane dies twice. Almost just as fast as he can get back there, he dies again.
You see that little bit of sort of like power-up optimization when the power-up's just about to run out. You do see a lot of people, they sort of leave the obelisk location just to try and push out to really maximize the amount of frags they can land while the power-up is in play before it disappears.
Still though, 45% already, less than 2 minutes into this round. This is a perfect start for No Lives Matter.
But I mean, to be honest, just check the kill feed, right? I mean, consistently it's been blue on red, blue on red, blue on red, and it's consistently following through. The fights have been in their favor almost every single time. Once again, we have almost 60%, and we've only just hit the 2-minute mark. This has been a great turnaround. The 2 frags come out though.
It's a nice change around, but Saigib still going to get a frag. The point's relatively cleaned up now. No Lives Matter lose the soul for the first time, and Unlovables looking good to move on. Trying to escort bot mode here, trying to make sure he gets there safely.
Nice! Good shot on Brick there.
Oh, bot mode. Dropping it off, but oh no, Saigib unfortunately getting ring out.
Yeah, the second hit by that rocket, I think that ring out was pretty much guaranteed. It just takes him a long time to fall down there from just the natural height he was at before. It's going to waste a nice bit of time, to be fair. Love this defense. This is the all-important defense. It's been such a momentum-based series from start to finish, and after this bracket reset, if they were to dominantly lose this first round, then I think it would be something to be concerned about.
But not the suicide. Doing what they can. Effortless, getting a nice couple of rocket jumps here. Trying to contest, and he will do just that, stolen the soul, but can he safely get back? It's going to be difficult for him.
Detour, look at this speed. Oh, that bunny hop passive doing work. And Effortless with 3 rockets gets from one obelisk all the way to the other. Perfectly played.
I mean, it pretty much has undone a lot of the hard work that Unlovables tried to put through there. You know, yes, it hasn't really climbed a lot of percentage as such, but it did the job of going in there, stealing the soul away, and then dealing with every single attacker. So now it's just climbing happily. And that was a nice rail just to keep them behind too. Fantastic shot from Effortless.
But the power-up is gone for a while now. Look, I mean, not for 70 seconds. That is not a lot of time. If all you have is 20% left to go, this could be the first round going to No Lives Matter at this rate. Unlovable's just, I mean, again, their bot mode getting close, but just dies immediately. Saiga's getting another frag too. I mean, this really has just been an airtight defense. 8% left to go. Dropping as the seconds drops. 95. Oh, missed every single piece of acid. That is unfortunate. Actually, this is the time Unlovable's fly in, but
double.
2 of them have dropped on the way in. 3 of them. Bot mode. Save himself that 1v1, but no, Saiga is going to take him out, and that's going to be the round. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. Now,
I would be very concerned right now.
That was a 5-round straight.
Yeah, and now they've gone for that straight reset, the dominant reset, and this first round was very comfortably in their favor. I think that snowball has no sight of stopping just yet. They're looking really good right now on Unlovables. They need to make something happen, and they're losing round after round. They're losing the time to make those changes.
I mean, this is the last thing I expected to happen. Unlovables, they did defeat No Lives Matter very convincingly winners. Unlovables riding a lot of momentum from a great showing at DreamHack Denver. They had a phenomenal showing there, especially as a team, and they're looking, you know, stronger and stronger as the days go on, but this one set in grand finals between the two of them, like, it could not be further from that. It really is No Lives Matter just completely taking control.
Now, Unlovables, they need to be really careful because, like, CCAP, no, one of those changes, I believe, is CCAP's now the one that's gone for Nick, which is quite interesting because normally he plays those big bodies on the team. But yeah, when they're quite weak, you have to be really, really careful dropping off that first soul if you haven't got the health. Because at any point, if you try and drop off the obelisk and someone just takes you out right near it, you've done all the hard work. But speaking of all the hard work, Effortless coming in with that quad damage, and he's got a chunky stack as well. Not taking any damage on the way, gets hit by 1 punch, but he's going to need a lot more than that to take him out. He is Sorlag with that crazy stack. Now,
a lot less now though, however, with that 30 health remaining. Going to pass it over, Brick's going to pick it up.
Even he himself is quite weak though, so he needs to try and dodge, but unfortunately he gets stuck in the air. CCAP sees to that temporarily. Sen has the soul, the power up, but to be honest, that quad, yeah, it's going to run out in due time because it had been active for quite a while.
Oh, no way is that going to work. Hang on, it does. How does Brick do it? Managed to take out, but they both had rocket launchers, and all he had was a gauntlet, and he killed them both.
And bot mode almost does the same thing back, but not quite. There's another drop off, No Lives Matter, but we have got a slightly different obelisk now, and this is that. Immediately, this is the adaptation, right? This is that obelisk where range becomes important. I love this idea that Saiga is just peppering every single super nail down that alleyway because the railgun is one of those majorly important weapons in this obelisk to just get damage from distance to either help people attack or to help someone defend. If you're using those super nails from range, pretty much denying safe passage through that railgun location, it's a really good option to try and defend with. So CCAP though, temporarily, he's got the soul back.
No, he took a detour for Rocket to make sure he can fight back, but it's going to be alright. Ooh, suicide coming out from Saiga. Oh, but good couple of frags. CCAP trying to drop this off, but he gets taken out Effortless. Suiciding, unfortunately, but taking a lot of people out in the process. I'm looking for the rest of his team to follow up. Doesn't want to go a bit too fast. He's going to know that Unlovables are going to be... You can see it right there, you know, they've all started to close in. If they can be patient, if they can actually save this power-up, spawning in 8 seconds, if they can get this power-up, knowing that Unlovables are actually focusing all of their attention on this obelisk, they've got a nice amount of control in the middle of this map. Oh, nice rockets as well. I feel like Unlovables might have been a little bit too antsy to just pile in towards that location. If there was no one by the obelisk, I think they must have asked themselves, why aren't they here? They must be near the power-up. Still they're here in force, they have the protection too. This could be an immediate turnaround. No Lives Matter after being, I suppose, slightly in the lead. This could become a big difference if they can keep this defense going. Look at the Mega 2, this is going to be Brick. I mean, he is a brick wall at the moment with that protection and the stack on health as Anarchy. Yeah, at least he doesn't have an injection going, or that'd just be even more crazy.
To be honest, I think that was perfectly executed by No Lives Matter. How they had the soul and they realized that Unlovables were going to be closing in near the obelisk because that was their next play. But with the power-up spawning so quickly, they must have realized, I mean, if we can secure this power-up, we're going to be able to drop the soul off no matter what, and then defend with it. I think it was perfectly put to good use there.
As they're walking through, Brick trying to do damage with the gauntlet, but they weren't close enough. Bot mode in the back, ready to pick it up. Have the mega health at least. Still, he is just an Anarchy with no armor. There we go, slipping the net. Whoa. Oh, a lot of damage from the super nail gun coming through. Is he going to get this double? Oh no, doesn't actually get the chance to. Sygib, collateral damage.
Botmode's had some good frags so far, during this life at least.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Whoa.
So though, this is kind of one of those more close rounds between them. I think it's important for Unlovables to be able to put a hold on this and not let No Lives Matter basically just run away with it for yet another round. After what was an incredibly one-sided start.
I think in a perfect world, Unlovables would take some more dominant rounds to really bring themselves back into the fight and show No Lives Matter that, you know, they still have what it takes to really make these guys sweat. But so far, Unlovables, if the best they can get is a close round, then they'll take it.
Definitely seems that way. Sen getting another frag. This could very much be a round for Unlovables so far, but he's going to drop that quad damage, and it's going to be Effortless that picks up. I think Effortless has still actually been putting a lot of emphasis on the LG, which is something that not a lot of other players have been doing so far, but Effortless is still using it as if it didn't get changed at all.
Well, if you still have accuracy with the LG, you can still maintain fantastic results. If you're good at securing something like quad damage, LG is still going to be just as vital as it ever was.
More that's coming through though. No Lives Matter, they've taken the lead again, but it just seems that as soon as they pick up the soul, each team is getting about 10%, then they're losing it. Then they're getting 10%, then they're losing it. And it very much is just going back and forth like that.
Sen pretty much forced in the middle of that rail down time to just sit there and accept his fate as Slash comes flying in forward. But here they're starting to climb the lead one more time. No Lives Matter, if they can take this 2 rounds straight, then it's going to be a great look. Nice little flick onto bot mode. And now, I mean, they have so much ranged weaponry right here to sort of challenge as they try and advance. And they're going in one at a time, and they are dropping one at a time. The protection's not going to be up for another 45 seconds. They aren't going to be able to rely on that at all. Plasma Trail has been up again. They're running in. The Zerk mode has been popped. They're here in force. Unlovables really putting everything they can into this. I respect the attempt to actually sort of...
Oh, that double on the acid from Effortless!
I mean, I respected the attempt to actually paint the Plasma Trail. The second you realize you'd lost 2 teammates and people were likely to try and push in, that's when you go into the area denial. And that's obviously why we then also saw Effortless go in for the Acid Spit as well. The power-up's going to spawn in 20 seconds. I wonder how vital that's going to be going near the end of this round. If No Lives Matter are able to secure it, then they very well could take the round on this. They've had a lot of numbers, and they're taking the frags consistently going in their favor. Brick needs to try and stay alive, but he really hasn't got much health to work with at all.
Yeah, problem is he is extremely low now, throwing away that soul, but Peter's going to pick
one
up.
health.
And he gets the drop off on 1 HP. He is able to do it anyway, but the protection has gone to... No, Stikap died, and Effortless picked it up. But Effortless 4 health. He is going to need something desperately, or he too will die. Oh.
I'm assuming it was just a deliberate suicide, right? Just to sort of reset things, get back into the fight for the rest of your team. They've now got 5% left to take. I think that must have just been his fastest call to action.
I guess maybe he just wanted to take the power-up out of the map, take it out of the game so the opponents can't get it, maybe?
I mean, if they have the lead, why give it up? You know, or why even let them take it? You have such a lead
If they
already.
don't need the power-up to keep the lead, but the enemy team could use the power-up to bring the lead back, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And they're having a hard time bringing it back to their base. I mean, just the frags are so constantly going in their favor. Kane needs to try and be careful here, but everyone else is dropping because of how fast No Lives Matter are able to cut these guys off. And to be honest, with 5% left to go, Unlovables, they've shown us they've had a bit of a hard time so far. But no other option but to make this pretty
I feel like it'd be a
comeback.
bit naive for us at this point to say that's impossible. I mean, would that really be the most unexpected thing we've seen today?
Oh,
or the biggest surprise?
But Pit with the soul, he's going to be a little bit careful. He's going to wait for the rest of his team to give him that information on when it's going to be safe to advance.
You can see how many members of Unlovables are starting to close in right now.
I mean, he's going to be itching to drop this off as well. Like, when you're that close to winning, he's going to just desperate for that opportunity to go bring it back in. But he's found it. Can he survive? Yes, he does. He gets the frag on CCAP. 3 frags
They
go
all
in.
dropped. Every single one of them went down. One more member in here trying to fight back. Looks like it's going to be bot mode. Can he win this 3v1? Unfortunately, he can't. No lives matter. 2 straight rounds. And I mean, just like that, here we are. 2 straight rounds. They've got the bracket reset already. This is a very, very scary situation from them.
That's also 6 rounds in a row now for No Lives Matter. That is a unstoppable train of momentum that Unlovables are forced to deal with now. They're a map down. They started off in winner's side, and they've been obviously sent to loser's bracket, and now they're a map down. This is a horrific turnaround for them. They need to try and not let this happen again. But, I mean, at this point, can they be stopped? I mean, No Lives Matter. They had such a good showing in losers finals, such a good showing at the start here, and even after the reset, they don't want to take that first map. I mean, can they be stopped at this point?
You almost wonder if the losers finals put these guys in their groove, because they played so well in losers to be in this situation to begin with. I feel like they've actually been riding that hype since the very beginning of when they actually qualified through losers to begin with, and they've simply carried that over into grand finals. Unlovables, on the other hand, what makes me so worried is that they're progressively becoming more and more on the back foot. And they're showing us that when they're in this situation, they're really struggling to sort of take that momentum away from No Lives Matter. So now we're in what could be the final map. They've lost round after round after round. Ruins of Sarnath, a map they've already lost on previously. I mean, they have to make miracles happen, and they've got to do it right now. But I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it with how they've been playing in this grand final so far.
Well, also the fact that Ruins of Sarnath is going to be the next map, and that is a map that was one of the more dominant, I think, for No Lives Matter. So sort of putting it back on that again for them, I'm not too sure. So it looks like a player might have left the lobby, so just going to have a look and see what's going on with that. We're just going to have to restart for that. I think he's just restarting the match, but we're doing what we can. Anyway, but again, this could potentially be that final map now. And if players feel like they need to restart to get the most out of a performance, or just to make sure, I mean, this is the time you do that. You can't really afford to waste any more time with that.
Yeah, I mean, one of our guys is quickly restarting. It's only going to take him a minute or so to get back into the action. But to be honest, what a journey we've had throughout these sacrifice qualifiers. We've had players from all over the world qualify in this team mode now. We've seen some really good gameplay all around. I think this is quite a nice way to almost like finish the story, where it's either going to be Unlovables finally waking up, or making sure they're able to maintain that expectation that everyone has of them after how well they played in Denver. Because I mean, they had a superb performance out there. We can't really ignore the fact that it was a all-American grand finals. North America just had the stronger showing in sacrifice. And I feel like if our final online qualifier is a bracket reset with a lightning fast turnaround, pretty much map after map after map from the team that was on loser's side, it'll be quite a nice way to finish things up. Things remaining unpredictable until the very end. But it looks like we have got our guy back into the lobby, so this server is getting made as we speak. Momentarily, we're going to be going into our champion select, and it looks like we're going to be ready to go right now. So Ruins of Sarnath, this is where some of the changes become a little bit more unpredictable, but we saw a little bit of Scale Bearer, we saw a little bit of Sorlag previously.
It was CCAP that was consistently picking the Scale Bearer on this map, but do we see it now, considering this it looks like he will do, but also a Sorlag on the side of No Lives Matter, so there is going to be that big body defensive champion for each team, but a big difference in what they can bring to the table, I think. These Scale Bearers, I don't need to constantly talk about this charge, right? Because I think we've seen enough of that today to realize why that's so useful and why that has its place. But especially on Ruins, it's such a good map for this champion. And when CCAP has been looking as good as he has done, I think the thing about CCAP is that he's not been quite getting as many frags with the ball rush as we've been seeing other Scale Bearer players today. I think a big part of CCAP is he's maybe not getting the right sort of speed before he's committing to those objectives. Like a big part, obviously, is trying to get full speed before the objective respawns. So I think he might be charging a little bit too late, so he isn't going as heavy damage as he might want to. But even then, right, it's quite hard to time. It's definitely something that changes on the fly depending on who's trying to exchange on the point, who's trying to fight, especially for that first soul pickup, which, as both of these teams has proven, is imperative that you manage to control, especially if your No Lives Matter, right? You're never riding this much momentum. You need to stop them dead in their tracks, and you're not going to do that if you let them get the first capture. You just can't let that happen again.
So we have 25 seconds left on this warm-up. I feel like this is going to be quite a setting map
right here. I think if it's going to be 4 maps straight for No Lives Matter, that'd be pretty miraculous. However, Unlovables, they've pulled off some crazy upsets in the past. However, it's crazy how in such a short space of time they're quickly becoming the underdogs in this grand finals, even though they're from winners. You don't really see that every day, do you?
I mean, I think 6 rounds in a row might do a thing or two to stop that. I think that might be one of the reasons here, but this could be it. This could be the final map for No Lives Matter. If they could win this, they will be going for DreamHack Winter.
Map number 4 in this grand finals, we saw a bracket reset come through with No Lives Matter in record time, and they very convincingly took Burial Chamber. We're going into Ruins of Sarnath. They did win on this map before the reset. They simply just have to pretty much do the same thing again. Brick has been able to command that soul because of a very impressive berserk coming through from Saigib. They've tried to head him off bot mode with the turnaround. However, they haven't been able to beat him to the punch. Pit himself is very weak, and now they're waiting for him on the other side. It's going to be very dangerous. The good patience to get the Mega, and now he's going to be more than healthy to maybe fight for this. I wonder if he's going to be patient or whether he's just going to turn around and get the other obelisk. He kind of looks a bit trapped.
His team to clear it off to make it safe for him to go through, but the quad damage goes towards, but gets dropped immediately. Effortless. Able to pick it up.
Oh, the double! What a turnaround! So many in one shot. It looked like a double kill right there.
Oh, but he dies anyway. Kane is able to put a stop to it. The important thing, though, No Lives Matter during
Oh,
next.
no!
They were able to take control of the first obelisk.
I really feel like Unlovables fumbled that quad damage. They lost quad twice in those instances. Let's give No Lives Matter a fantastic start for another time.
It's definitely not the level of sort of tidiness that you need to see from a team that is kind of this far behind now. You can't be afford making mistakes like that.
You can't really be missing those quad damage 1v1s. Not at this level. Not this late in the tournament.
C-Cap getting a nice frag onto Effortless though. Effortless has been one of those key defenders. C-Cap is here. And bot mode can get a nice quick double with that rocket. As now they're going in force, 3 of them together. C-Cap, that rocket jump. Very nice. Let's give him a clean capture.
They are defending, but with C-Cap being as weak as he is, he's going to obviously try and do as much as he can with the life before he inevitably goes down. Effortless getting 2 of those rails. Sitting pretty at the back there, just sort of trying to provide that supporting fire, of which he's doing a fantastic job of, and make that 2 rails in a row. Trying to go for the defensive acid spit. Somehow, actually, even though the Berserker was live, was unable to land any of those acid spits. That's very unfortunate. However, they have been able to command the soul temporarily. Unlovables are not in the lead just yet. No Lives Matter still in control.
It's like picking up the soul means you will immediately die. It's like a cursed object. Oh, that missed rail would have been the death of Pit for sure, but he's able to control, capture it again. Maybe 30%, they are still in the lead, albeit not by a massive amount, but definitely climbing up now. C-Cap, it's too close for comfort.
There's that defensive plasma trail once more. If Anarchy wants to try and take the soul, he's going to have to put himself in harm's way. And if not, it's going to give him some free time. Here comes the power-up. Looks like there's a lot of members of the No Lives Matter looking to control this. Brick has the protection. The second he gets some health, he's going to be in a much better spot. Make that a mega, and now he's in the money.
He is surrounded, though. He is going to die straight away. Doesn't matter if you've got protection. If you are surrounded by 3 opponents, and then you have no way of getting them off, you are a dead man walking.
Fresh off the mega, but no injection in sight, and I think he was going to die pretty quickly, surrounded by enemies. But C-Cap, even he himself, very weak, even with this protection. He's a big body, very easy to target, but he's getting frag after frag. And there you go.
Very easy to target, but wasn't being targeted in that fight. I think they just wanted to leave him alone. I guess they didn't really know how much health he had at that time. Still, though, they are 46%, but Unlovables are in a great position. Oh, hang on a minute. They were at least to stop it, but Rick sniping from beyond. The injection, big speed increase.
He's 1 HP. Very almost got away with that one. But Kane finishing the job.
Trying to see if he get back, but there's people here ready to stop him, and they will indeed. 3 frags. Another way of No Lives Matter. They try and move through again. Ooh, they get dropped off.
Full speed. Face first. Here comes Brick. Oh, bot mode, lying in wait with the gauntlet. I think he knows he's going to go down. Let's just waste that time. Let's get the soul as far away as possible. Kane tries to do the same, but Saigib, for another time, waiting for the time to get his frag. This Saigib, he's been such a star performer throughout the entire tournament today.
Unfortunately, though, trying to bull rush into a Doomslayer, that double jump is just a very easy universal way of just getting too much height for the bull rush to actually connect. Saigib, I know that 100%.
Yeah, Doomslayer has quite a unique answer towards.
He's got no bullets for anything.
And that's why the Berserk is
no bullets. Time to get the fists out.
Oh, railed. Yep. Unfortunate, but not much he could do there if he literally has no ammo.
Still, soul was taken, but a nice build up for No Lives Matter nonetheless. However, that power-up going to be up any second now too. More people here trying to contest for this. The less bodies there will be contesting, and CCAP is going to get it with that quad of damage in hand.
I mean, these teams were definitely split during that exchange. It was to one side, to the other. Ultimately, CCAP, he came off better in that exchange, but somewhat barely. There's the tactical suicide just to give Sen the quad before he had Berserk mode. Got one of the frags, but it has gone in the favor of Saigib, who gets a nice trail of the SMG. Kane comes in, swinging with the gauntlet, and now he's looking to get some frags of his own. A wonderful defense.
Well, that started off CCAP bringing the quad damage to the point, committing suicide, giving it to the defenders that were healthier at the time. Perfect teamwork coming through, and now Unlovable is looking to even this round out a little bit. Oh. Even then, Effortless coming into steal, but dies straight away. This has just been such a quick recovery from Unlovable every time they lose someone.
Now Sen goes in for the trade-off, so they're going one down particularly. It's not going to be the end of the world for either team if they still have 3 people left alive, but this is a very constant fight taking place right now. A nice surprise rail though on Brick, bot mode. Being that defender from the back, doesn't want to put himself in harm's way. If he's content with his rails from that distance, just make sure he's dishing out the damage while taking no damage himself.
Still this entire time, that percentage has been rising for Unlovables. The first start of this round wasn't looking good for them, but look at this control again.
It's the turnaround they've needed, right? You know, if they get one round, it's a start for sure. But if they prevent it,
keeping him alive, but kind of just delaying the inevitable. But by the time that happens, and bot mode getting another frag, bot mode on 1 health. Okay, it'll pick up. That's going to do a lot for him. Still 95%. Ooh, 1 shot from Effortless.
1 more percent though, and Unlovable's going to stay in this fight. Sen's going to do everything he can to defend, but he's taking so much damage, he cannot survive. All 4 members of No Lives Matter on the point. And there's only 1 person left to defend. Here comes the power-up. Are they going to try and fight for the power-up?
I think they have no choice. They have to try and get it. They have no choice with the protection. It does go to Saigib, and they managed to wipe the point as well, and also hold on to the soul. That was a perfect turnaround, and Saigib still racking up the frags into the mega health too. Perfectly played. Saigib just wiping out the entire team.
And being rewarded after such a brutal fight with the mega health, undoing all of that hard work that we saw Unlovables do. He's going to lose the protection, so for the remaining sort of 25% or so, they're going to have to defend without it. But, I mean, No Lives Matter. They've had amazing defenses before without it. This is definitely possible. Is it going to be 99?
And the last time they won 99 to 100, they stomped the next round.
Oh,
it seemed a combination of they were unstoppable and Unlovables just could not collect from it. They have to try and stop this happening now. That percentage is ticking up. The longer they stay alive, the more they're going to have. Tries to go for the gauntlet, but Kane gets taken out immediately. They're running in the charge, but it doesn't connect. CCAP getting a kill with that machine gun, but he himself will probably fall here. Yes, he will.
Goes in for the Berserk bot mode. Probably thought that was going to be much more of a free frag, but just punch in the face behind the obelisk. See you later.
Oh dear, he did die with it though. But bot mode was able to pick it up from below. He was able to pass it before he died. That's important. Did 98 to 99. But you know, Unlovables are good. They're looking to capture this, but No Lives Matter. They cannot afford to let him get near it at all.
They're going to be 1 man down. They've been able to drop things off. That's likely to be the round. There's no one there to contest it. I think that's going to be good. 100% versus 98. That very nearly was a disaster.
I think if Unlovables lost that round after that kind of turnaround, that would have been it. Like I do not think they would have been able to come back from that after what we saw before. But in the change of events, they were in fact able to really secure. And now they find their first round. They've broken the 6-round streak of No Lives Matter.
I think us, you know, the guys behind the scenes, you guys watching at home, I'm pretty sure every single one of us felt that joint 4-man sigh of relief from Unlovables after winning that round. They needed that so desperately. But now going into this next round, if they can get a good start, then who knows? But No Lives Matter looks like they're having another phenomenal beginning. And they've controlled the obelisk so early on. They've controlled the power-up early on. And they're going to be doing it again. Brick
ignoring obelisk B though, definitely preferring A it seems. Brick had all the chances in the world to try and drop that off, but he definitely took the long way around to go for this one. It seems to be their preferred.
They specifically went after this one. And I think it kind of goes to show that this is the way they want to approach this map. I think that's going to be interesting data for Unlovables if they're able to somehow take that obelisk away from them. Unlovables do have access to the quad damage. The rest of the team is quite weak though. So CCAP, yeah, he's going to take a huge amount of damage. Even if he's not dishing out those frags, he himself can't really take a huge amount, which means fighting for it's going to be difficult. Here comes Sen with the Berserk, but tied to melee. He can only survive for so long. Pit catches him out of the air. Brick now with that quad damage super shotgun. With Anarchy, that is a lethal combination.
As the heavy armor also going to be quite hard to take him out here. Oh, but still there.
I don't think you're actually prepared for him to be that close to him.
Oh no, missing a rail, that would have been death. He drops it off. Did he drop it?
I'm assuming he must have dropped the soul to try and pop his injection, but he might have forgot to pick it back up. He sort of was in the middle of his injection animation while the soul was on the floor, which I can only assume he didn't pick it up as he popped the injection.
So they're only 7% of the board for No Lives Matter. This isn't really a lead you should be comfortable with.
Oh, definitely not. And in a matter of seconds, you can get 7% very easily.
Oh wow, he delayed for so long before choosing to drop it off, but it wasn't a delay enough, and he still ended up dying immediately. That's giving it back to No Lives Matter as they have a couple of frags on the board now. Oh, bot mode. Goodbye. I think taking out bot mode and CCAP together is really important, because especially bot mode has just been one of those most effective just fraggers on the team at the moment.
For sure. And I think it's also just when you're going to play Anarchy, you need to know how to be a nuisance. And I think we've seen that consistently come out from bot mode. This is right now, right? He's somehow still able to survive, even though he's taking all of that rocket stuff just because of really good movement.
Well, they're contesting for the obelisk, but I don't know if it's been enough so far. Bot mode flying in with the
Not only did bot mode survive after all that, he was able to still get a frag before he died. How about that?
Well, 35-0. Power up going to be up soon. They're going to have to start shifting their attention towards it, but doing so with a 40% lead.
Oh, nice shot, Effortless. 2 nice shots, in fact. But now here comes the power-up. It's going to split that attention for another time. But here comes the defensive acid spit. CCAP going very fast indeed.
That was an example of perfect timing of that bull rush. You know, he went for max distance, max speed, and he ended right as the protection spawned. And now here he is with that protection, taking out defender after defender now.
The rest of his team to help him out. They're going to pass it on. With that Mega, it's going to be very comfortable for CCAP to make this drop off.
That'd be very surprised to see him die before dropping that off after getting that Mega protection.
Oh, he's dead by acid, guaranteed. Effortless is going to finish the job right there.
Oh! Speaking of which, Effortless, I feel like Effortless's name is popping up a lot in these kill feeds. He's definitely just being a big team player here. Getting those important frags when he needs to, but dropping it off quickly, passing it down, and Brick is there to pick it up. So he is in hot pursuit right now, being chased for this stop, but still 56%. I think this is still a good start, but I feel like it's dangerous for us to say it's a safe lead, right? Because Unlovable was definitely had a thing or two to say about that last round.
I don't feel like any lead is safe in Sacrifice, to be fair.
At least with how they're playing it at the moment.
With how fast these turnarounds can be in just a short space of time, you've got to make sure that unless that counter reaches 100%, you are not safe by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, but we're going to drop Saigib. See to that. Oh! And Effortless from above waiting. There's that communication between players. Brick has the soul, trying to get it through, but we can already see there's a few people trying to stop him.
That is definitely going to be a no access area. 3 people lying in wait there. But Brick, there's the patience. He's going to wait for the rest of the team to follow up. They're going to communicate how the fight goes. Obviously, losing 2 of his teammates, you're going to see Brick try and survive a little bit longer. Unfortunately, here comes Kane going in full speed with that gauntlet doing humongous damage. And the second they realized that the teammate was just not in his favor right there, they pretty much pushed the advantage, knowing that he was likely to be waiting near that area with the soul.
Well, there's the drop off. The quad damage is up, and Kane was able to get it, but he died. And CCAP close enough to get it.
They catch him with the rail, he's going to be toast.
But he's a big target with no armor. That should have been a dead CCAP, but that rail just not ever so slightly missing.
Unfortunately, even with this quad, he can't afford to take a single rocket or anything else. The super shotgun comes through. He's going to get one of those airborne punches. Doesn't even need it because the rail comes out. Saigib now. The mission's going to be to defend that soul, get it back into play.
Oh, he did so much damage, but it wasn't enough. Seeing that 180 damage super shotgun not kill, that is a stacked character.
Unlovables are significantly behind right now, though, so they still have lots of work to do in this second round, but
Kane has it, but there's no way he was going to survive on that health. Bot mode has it again as he too could be knocking on death's door soon. It seems like he might do, but does a lot of damage before falling down, and Sen is able to pick it up. He himself rapidly losing health, but still doing a lot of damage before. Effortless here trying to defend, but he is overwhelmed. Now Unlovables are holding on to the soul, but for how long? That is the question. Pit is super weak. I think he's going to play that role of just trying to do as much damage as he can without being in harm's way. You know, if you've not got the health to fight on the Obelisk, you can at least kind of sit on the sidelines and dish out damage with those long-range weapons like a rail or something else until you inevitably get found out, which is what we just saw him trying to go for there. But these trades obviously going in, you know, back and forth, one frag after the other, one team after another team. Pit getting knocked towards the Mega. That's going to be best case scenario. He's going to be more than healthy enough now.
And Effortless is here to protect him as well. They have a lot of people here trying to attack Unlovables. They just lost someone. It was in fact Kane that fell. Oh, bot mode drops as well. CCAP is able to get that return frag, and even though they could hold on to the Salt, it wasn't for very long. Another time. That protection's going to be up soon. They can't really afford to lose that. CCAP. Oh, did he kill himself, or was he shot?
It kind of looked like Saige might have come through the teleport with a rocket or something and then immediately sort of gone back the other way, which is likely in case he was looking for a rocket on the other side. But here comes the protection. It is going to go to No Lives Matter though, so I would be concerned. Pit's waiting on the other side, but I think they're going to be aware. Unlovables are probably going to go for that sort of like defensive hiding-based soul. You know, if they have the power-up and you have no chance of taking it back, I think hiding is probably your best course of action. Waiting for the protection to be done, and then you go in. However, hasn't quite worked out. Kane has the soul, but he goes down as well. They're going to consistently trade these frags back and forth, but there is no progress being made. And now, finally, Pit gains access to the soul with a little bit of protection left over. And right as he delivers it, finally runs out.
They do what they can to hold on this for longer, though, because the biggest problem they've had this round is that they have a huge lead, but Unlovables are just not letting them hold it for very long at all. However, now they're past that 9% threshold. CCAP going in for the ball rush, but it doesn't connect, and he's going to take a lot of damage from behind. This is a straight-up team fight on this Obelisk, and that's going to go to bot mode. He's going to get that frag. They're going to get one too. Bot mode getting another two, and taking this away by himself. Bot mode just being that absolute stoic defender for the team, keeping his team in this round single-handed.
However, No Lives Matter, they've closed in, they've got the defense on deck, and you can actually notice Saige, he's got into his berserk mode, he's looking for those final punches to finish the job. Effortless comes in with a shotgun, and Sen, in fact, gets a few berserk kills of his own.
With the suicide, though, the contested Obelisk, it's going to be a 1v1, soon to be a 2v1, at least passing the soul off, but doesn't really get too much distance at all, but it's going to be a distraction, but bot mode with a triple kill.
Fantastic.
With the rocket mode. We get 4 of them, all 4 of them dead to that one bot mode rocket launcher.
It is going to allow them to spawn at the same time, which means we have a higher chance now of seeing this calculated 4-man attack. Even then, though, Pit did kind of go in by himself there. The rest of the team have followed up, but it's a little bit too late for there to be what resembles almost like a group fight. I think we're likely to probably see maybe one more power-up before the end of this round, because yes, No Lives Matter, they've got 5% left to go, but with how the defense is going, you have to ask, you know, when there's this much percent left, or this little percent left if you're on No Lives Matter side, do they try and fight for this power-up? And now do they even have a choice? They've piled in to try and get the quad damage, but this was a big gamble. They need to get in before it goes down, and now they have to win this fight. It's likely they can do it with the quad damage, but they gave up a lot of percentage to do it.
This is going to be tough. They have the quad and they defend. This is probably going to be the round. Unlovables, I don't think they can do this. They invested a lot into getting that quad. They were able to get it, but they dropped it just as quickly, and that puts No Lives Matter on tournament point.
At the last minute, their choice was to maybe sort of split some of their defenses there to go in towards the power-up. If they could confirm the quad and retain the soul, I think it would have been their best bet at making that comeback. Unfortunately, right as they try and fight towards quad, the soul had already been dropped off. So they pretty much were put in a situation, but like that 4% that put them into 99% was the difference between getting quad and then inevitably landing towards the soul. That's how quickly the percentage will climb, and it's looking to me like No Lives Matter have had another very good start.
So it looks like Pit chose to suicide so he could respawn with full health for this fight, but Brick, oh, trying to get through. That's going to get picked up. Pit trying to get it as well. He's going to get the drop off, even though he's probably going to die here. At least get close to it. Good drop off as well, but bot mode had enough of missing and just pulled out the gauntlet.
Just enough of these games. Let's pull out the gauntlet and finish the job. Finish it close range, mano a mano. Here we go. No, man, but they've got another early lead. I would be very concerned if I was Unlovables. Side in with the defense. They have access to quad. However, he does accidentally blow himself up trying to take out Sen, who now is alive temporarily. He hasn't got much health though, so one well-placed rail, one sneaky gauntlet will turn the tide of this fight in an instant.
So getting thrown back though. Loves Matter, that 20% lead looking really tough at the moment. Sen has quite a respectable amount of that quad left, to be honest.
Definitely be enough for at least one quad damage charge and punch. Oh, there you go. See you later.
Ask and you shall receive. Punch man shall punch for you, my friend.
Now they've got that 20%, but we've seen how quickly that can be quickly undone. So Unlovables, this is a better start than they have been historically having in this series, at least.
It seems that way. And
Senna's been alive on low health for a long time. He just hasn't really been the synchronized.
That was literally synchronized.
Whatever you'll call that.
Oh dear.
Time. And it was both the same champion as well. That was beautiful. So poetic.
Here comes that fantastic group kill.
The team making sure that Brick is one to pick up that Mega. There's one person they're trying to stop, but there's the whole army of No Lives Matter coming to try and help this capture. CCap is there trying to stop, but he too will fall. Pick gets himself a nice double. Saigib getting a submachine gun frag too.
Now, I feel like, you know, these little bits of optimization, you know, like the teammates allowing Brick when he was delivering that soul to collect the Mega, making sure no one else was going to keep him behind. These small little bits of communication that you need at this level of play.
Mega health is up. CCap running around with the gauntlet is going to secure himself that frag. Quad damage not going to be up for a little while. CCap trying to go through now. He has the rocket in hand. This could be a good opportunity for Unlovables. The soul has been stolen away. They have a lot of people here trying to make sure they can get this back. But No Lives Matter were able to get up to 44%, which is not great for Unlovables, but the important thing is they've at least stopped the bleeding. They've taken the soul off of the obelisk, but Effortless, and 3 of them managing to drop as well in that fight. Effortless managing to drop this down.
But unfortunately, because it took them so long to almost like make their mind up or to try and push forward right there, not only did it take them a long time and they pretty much gave up the soul because of that, but they gave up a lot of time towards that power-up, and it actually allowed No Lives Matter to collect both really important elements at the same time. They're now defending the soul for another time with a full quad damage to work with. This is going to be a lot of percentage they can't really deal with challenging. It's been 3 minutes and it's pretty much 60% already. Kane walking right into that one Brick, even though he's almost dead.
Quad damage just ran out, so CCap is alive. And now Brick is in a bad situation. Didn't have a lot of health left at all.
But I mean, keeping CCap out of action temporarily, you know, that they're the most stacked champion they've got on that team. Keep him dead for the same duration as Brick. He's going to be happy with that. They've now got 70%. This could almost be over in a matter of seconds. 25% left to go, and No Lives Matter could be our champions on North America.
They are starting to come through now, but one of them dies on the way in. Pit is going to see to that. This is a 2v2, and they are in trouble here. They still have hold of the obelisk. 80% and climbing. That was an opportunity for Unlovables, but that very much was a synchronized attack and it didn't work. Do they have what it takes now without the 4 of them? Kane is going to get a crucial frag, as is CCap. But Brick is going to get a nice long range, 2 long range rails, keeping his team in this, 10% away from qualifying for DreamHack Winter. They have seconds left until the end of this. These guys are looking pretty unstoppable, and they have been this entire grand finals. The rails just keep landing one after the other, 2 more %, and they're going to be the champions, and they're trying to trickle in, and it's not working. No Lives Matter coming hot from the losers bracket are able to reset and eventually win the entire tournament. The final team online to qualify for DreamHack Winter is No Lives Matter. In
how about
powerful fashion as well.
yeah.
Like, doing it from the losers bracket is no easy feat, and we've seen that tournament after tournament after tournament. When you're going into grand finals losers side, you have double the work to do, and in a game like this, that is a long grind. That is a long time of playing, especially against the team that sent you to losers in the first place. It is difficult. It is tough. However, Saigib getting himself 68 frags.